My name is Sheena with the Way of Namaste, and today I wanted to come on and offer a prayer and a Celtic cross tarot reading. Right now we are in Virgo season, the last day of August, and we're transiting through Gene Key 40, which is the shadow of exhaustion, the gift of resolve, and the siddhi or the divine expression of divine will. This week reminds us to slow down, to find clarity within the pause, and to give ourselves permission to rest, recognizing that it's not something that has to be earned. It's not something that we become worthy of after reaching a certain metric. Rest is a part of us experiencing vitality, is filling our cup, giving ourselves the space to become filled, to become inspired. Inspire, the Latin word, the Latin root is to breathe. We think of inspiration, to be breathed by the divine. And this is truly what it is, how we become inspired. And this is the will of the divine, to breathe life into us. And we can do this, we can feel this when we're meditating, or when we're doing breath work. We become fueled by spirit. We empty ourselves out in order to become filled again. Many of us don't give ourselves those sacred pauses to empty all the way out. And so we're exhausted and we're moving through life frenetically, rippling out the like vibration of exhaustion. And everything around us is exhausting, reflecting back to us the vibration that we're resonating in. So this gift of resolve is the gift of saying yes when you really want to say yes, and saying no when you really want to say no, and trusting in the intelligence of your body to know the difference, to know what it wants, to know what arouses it because it's curious, because it's intrigued, because it feels like play and wonder and expansion and joy. And what part of us is aroused by chaos and drama and old belief systems that we have something to prove. So the gift of resolve is the power to say no when you want to say no. Trusting in your yes, that you can trust in the yes of those around you. This divine expression of divine will is to be moved through life, following the call and the direction of spirit, beyond logic and understanding, trusting in the unknown. So this week I invite us to take the sacred pause, learn to trust in the unknown, and slow down enough to find the magic in the mundane. The gift of this week's Gene Key is symbolized by the cat. And what a perfect depiction of being versus doing. And just thinking about the cats that you've met before and the way that they experience life, constantly interacting with the unseen realms, falling off into daydreams and cat naps, enjoying the art of lounging, not needing to prove anything to anyone. They invite us to do the same. So let's go ahead and just settle into a bit of an attunement here. We've got a little bit of understanding now around the energetics in the spectrum around us. We may be feeling that exhaustion, the shadow frequency. Maybe we're feeling the gift. We've taken this time out for this pause right now. We've created this sanctuary just for us. So maybe life is flowing through us all right in this very moment. With that in mind, I invite you now to close your eyes or soften your gaze if that feels in alignment, and just allow a slow breath in. And just let the body soften here. I invite you here to begin to notice if there's any spaces of tension or depletion. With each exhale, I invite you to release the stories of I have to do it all. Maybe even placing a hand over your heart as you whisper inwardly, I am enough. I am held. I have nothing I need to prove to anyone. I invite you here to begin to see, sense, feel, imagine, or perceive a quiet strength rising. This is resolve. This flame that transforms exhaustion into divine will. This is the spark of creation. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And on the exhale again, setting the intention to let something soften. Keeping our eyes gently softened or closed. Maybe bringing our hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position over the heart, or hand over the heart. As we just invite in a little prayer to begin our Celtic Cross Tarot reading. O beloved Source, lift us from exhaustion into the rhythm of grace. May we act not from striving, but from stillness. May we remember the sacred balance of giving and receiving. Guide us into inspired resolve, that our will may align with yours. Overflow our hearts with love, that every step we take becomes service. And so it is, and so it shall be. Taking another deep breath, inhale, and exhaling as we begin. So we begin this Celtic Cross Tarot reading with the heart of the matter, and it's the 10 of Swords. I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sturl, and on her 10 of Swords, she has the depiction of a woman mindlessly scrolling on her cell phone with the caption, "Everything is fine," and 10 swords stabbing through her back. So the collective sits at a threshold of endings, collapse, and a kind of numb exhaustion. So this card in the Modern Witch deck with her scrolling on the phone feels like a warning of spiritual bypass or digital sedation, pretending that everything is fine when underneath there's depletion. So it echoes this theme of the week, this gene key, this shadow of exhaustion, this burnout from overgiving, overproving, or endlessly striving. So our challenge or our opportunity this week is the 6 of Pentacles. So the real medicine is reciprocity. Our challenge is learning to receive as much as we give and to restore balance in that way. So many of us have given or been used to giving from depletion rather than overflow. So divine will is moving through us this week, asking ourselves, are we open to true generosity? Not just for ourselves, but from others, from spirit. So where we're coming from, the past, is the Queen of Pentacles. So we've cultivated stability, nurtured home, body, and resources. This grounded, earthly past shows that we've invested in building our foundations. Yeah, perhaps we may have over-identified with being the provider and stepping into those kinds of roles. And now our soul is calling us to deepen into emotional nourishment, taking a sacred pause, allowing ourselves to receive instead of always being the giver. So what we're conscious of right now is the Queen of Cups. So on the surface, what we are aware of now is the need to feel again. Compassion, intuition, and emotional depth are all rising as key priorities for us. So this queen sits with empathy and wisdom, and she invites us all to soften into flow and to allow our heart to lead instead of the mind's over-efforting and chatter. So what's coming up for us in the future is the King of Wands. So what is emerging now is inspired leadership. This isn't just about building, just like the Queen of Pentacles, but also embodying vision and magnetism. So the King of Wands directs divine will into action. So this actually lines up pretty perfectly with this week's gene key, which is divine will in motion. It's not about forcing, but it's about aligning with higher purpose and inspiring others through presence. So sometimes embodying leadership is just about the consistency of showing up and impacting others through that ability to show up, that gift of divine presence, that power of divine will. So what we're unconscious of this week is the Eight of Cups. So beneath the surface is a walk away moment. Collectively, there may be an unconscious knowing that certain pursuits, habits, or attachments just no longer fulfill us like they used to. We're leaving behind illusions of fine, and we're seeking soul truth, even if that means stepping into mystery. So things that we may have tolerated at some point, we just don't seem to tolerate them anymore. We're breaking from old contracts. We are empowering ourselves to make different choices. So some of us, this is doing this very consciously. Others are just beginning to let go of things that may have been gripping them, like TV or media, and scrolling and numbing out, or certain food products or substances. Right now, stepping into the mystery is the practice of knowing thyself, learning thyself, getting to know thyself. So the querent, so how we feel about this is the Temperance. So here, the collective querent embodies balance, integration, and alchemy. The Temperance angel pours between two cups. Just like today's Virgo Sagittarius polarity, we've got this Virgo sun, this season of devotion, and we've got this fire sign of Sagittarius, this eternal seeker. So this devotion versus this seeking, this blending of fire and earth, this idea of Virgo's detail with Sagittarius's vision. So our medicine right now is about patience, moderation, and trust in divine timing. Our environment right now is the Two of Cups. So the collective environment is marked by partnership and union. This could be sacred partnerships, friendships, romance, or soul family alliances. This is healing amplified through connection. And this is a reminder for all of us that we don't walk this journey alone, and that support is always available. I have a virtual community on the Mighty Networks called the Way of Namaste. And And not only do I share weekly tarot readings like this one, but I also share prayers. I share daily rituals that support our awakening and our understanding of complex systems like astrology, gene keys, and human design. All are welcome to join us. We have roundtable discussions where we bring in the energetics of the gene keys every single Friday morning. We have beautiful conversations around authentic communication, allowing ourselves to be witnessed throughout our life experiences. There's no teacher in these rooms. We're all students of the mystery, and we show up. We allow our presence to be enough, and the divine flows through us as we share our resonance with one another and how we're navigating through these energies collectively. We also have a book club where I share a booklet that I wrote last year called The Alchemy of I Love You, a journey through the heart's infinite grace. We meet every Thursday night at Joy Connections in Sarasota, Florida, Tampa Bay. And from 7 to 8:30, we come together with a tea ceremony with a different herbal ally to support our grounding and our nourishing our systems. We've got sound healing with sound bowls, chants, mantras, and singing that we offer each week. We also bring in one of the major arcana archetypes, and we share my personal story along with the hero's journey, the story of the tarot. And we relate as within, so without to these stories. And we have a crystal every single week. We activate our crystalline consciousness together, remembering these attributes that exist within us. And together we share with a discussion circle of what is moving through us. And we allow ourselves to be witnessed, not needing to prove anything, not needing to show up and know anything, but being willing to be seen and to be heard, and to see and to hear others, and to recognize what a gift, what a power, and what a privilege that is. So our hopes and dreams this week is the Knight of Cups. We all long for romance, for beauty, for spiritual questing. This hope is for a life led by heart, that we can move in devotion toward our love, toward creativity and idealism. And this is the dream of living poetically, guided by visions and deep feeling. Our outcome this week is the Ace of Cups. So the cycle culminates in renewal, a fresh emotional beginning, a heart opening. After we saw that 10 of Swords exhaustion, the Ace of Cups promises replenishment, this holy grail moment of divine love, compassion, and new life flowing in. It is literally the resolve and the divine will of this week's Gene Key 40, showing us that when we release depletion and the false I'm fine narratives, then Spirit fills our cup anew. So this Celtic Cross Tarot reading this week really mirrors what we have going on currently between this exhaustion through the 10 of Swords with resolve through the card of Temperance. Also, we had the 8 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles in there. Into this divine expression, divine will, the King of Wands, the Ace of Cups. This reminder that when we empty ourselves out, we will be filled anew. So we're collectively asked to move from burnout and bypass into authentic reciprocity and emotional presence. So patience and trust, new love, creative flow, and heart-centered leadership are emerging through us right now if we can be patient enough to allow ourselves to be born anew. Let's go ahead and take the deepest breath that we've taken all day, breathing in through the nose chest expanding with the inhale. Maybe allowing a smile to wash over the face between the in and the out breath. And as you exhale, maybe place a hand on your heart or on your belly, your womb space. Or maybe resting gently on your lap. Invitation this week to lay down the false numbing that everything is fine. We open ourselves up to true reciprocity, leaving behind all that no longer serves us, all that no longer nourishes us. In balance and temperance, we remember we are never, ever alone. So may our cups overflow with divine love, and may we act from will, aligned with source, rather than from ego, inspiring others through the flame of our heart. May we remember how worthy we are. And so it is. Before we head off, I'd like us to take another moment of pause, closing down the eyes again, bringing our awareness inward again towards the quality of our breath. And as we send this next breath into the root chakra, the base, the perineum, ask ourselves, am I grateful? And just notice what you notice. On this next breath, lovingly send that energy directly into the sacral, the space of our sexuality, of our creativity, and ask yourself, am I compassionate? And notice what you notice. Take this next breath in, and lovingly send this message, send this energy, send this air right into the solar plexus, right above the space of the belly button. And ask yourself, am I surrendered? And notice what you notice. And on this next breath, lovingly direct that energy right into the heart space, activating this emerald crystal from the heart, and asking yourself, am I in joy? Notice what you notice. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath and lovingly send this energy towards our throat chakra, and ask ourselves lovingly, am I speaking my truth? Am I in my truth? Is this true for me? Notice what you notice. Go ahead and take another breath and send that energy lovingly right between the brows, right into the ajna, the third eye. An invitation to ask yourself here, am I clear? Am I calm? Is my nervous system regulated? How calm do I feel? Notice what you notice. On this next breath, go ahead and lovingly send this information, this energy, this love, this data, this air, this inspiration right into the crown chakra. Maybe even allowing this white light to completely wash over you, connection. I invite you to notice what you notice. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for being here in this moment. Thank you for co-creating this experience with me. If you like these experiences, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to like this, to let me know what you thought about it, and also to share it with a friend, someone else you think might benefit from a sacred pause of just taking a half hour to drop into the void and notice what you notice without judgment, without trying to change it, without trying to fix it, but simply allowing it and recognizing that act of allowing builds the momentum for divine will to flow through you as though you are a vessel. When we empty ourselves out, we allow ourselves to be filled anew. So, invitation this week to pause, to rest, to slow down, to say no, to choose you, and to take some time